Transcendence by H. W. Hodgetts, William. Love the Meaning of Life, an Oasis for Spiritual Searchers. You may be wondering whether it is possible for you to achieve enlightenment, and you may think that it is such a long way back to your home that you can never reach it. You may think deep inside that it is all too complicated and difficult, or that you are unworthy. But I tell you in truth that you are wrong on every count, because you never left the light. It was only through your thoughts that you felt that you were in another place, or that you were something other than what you really are. One moment in time. The act of transcendence into the perception of enlightenment is instant. It is as if, without realizing it, you unintentionally turned on that magic switch that you had been searching for. In truth, there is no magic switch, but rather transcendence occurs automatically when the self reaches a certain state of realization and makes the right choices. No one knows when their moment of transcendence into the light will occur, for who can predict when a moment of realization will happen? Before that moment, there is only knowledge that requires faith in its validity, but faith does not require proof. It is not faith that we search for, it is a complete understanding, and that can only be experienced in a moment of realization of the truth. Enlightenment will happen when you least expect it. It will snatch you from the darkness and the illusion of what you are not. All things are made new, and all of your powers are restored. Your moment is coming, and when it does, you will know that I have spoken the truth. The keys to enlightenment are and have always been in your hands alone. I can tell you what you need to realize, but what you choose to do with that information is entirely up to you. I will love and respect you regardless of what you choose. The impossible. It is said that all things come to pass, in other words, nothing can retain its form forever. But that is not quite true, and it is a claim made in ignorance, because there are some things whose form cannot be dissolved or perish, or be diminished in any way, because they are self-generating continuously. The things whose existence and form are eternal, are self-begotten and self-sustaining. The you that you refer to as I is a self-generating immortal spiritual being, and there is no escape from the reality of your existence. Your mind, which is outside of the self, is also generated by the self, and so it is also eternal, but the things that are in the mind are not. They are created by the self and only sustained by the self for a single life journey, unless they are of unconditional love and truth. Eventually the self has to let go of, stop clinging to, all that is not of unconditional love and truth, because all else will be lost and come to pass, that is to say, cease to exist. This is why I have said, when you stand alone with nothing that the world can take from you and only unconditional love in your heart, then the gates of heaven will open for you. Illusions. You can spend a whole life journey believing that you are something that you are not, and believing that you are somewhere that you are not. There are no greater illusions than these two. The self that is you becomes like someone searching for their lost keys, not realizing that they are in your pocket. When you first awaken to a new life journey, you have no illusions as to what you are or where you are, and at that point your focus of attention is entirely on yourself. It is a truth that the self only perceives what it focuses its attention on. It is a truth that clarity of perception is dependent on the strength of focus of attention. Let me put it another way, desire creates interest, interest creates focus of attention creates clarity of perception creates depth of understanding. Sleeping. Before the beginning, that is to say, before the self awakened, you were in a state of perfect peace, everything was still and nothing was known. You were in a state of dreamless sleep, you were lifeless. It was when you realized that you existed that you took your first breath of life. Without that first breath you would have remained in a state of rest, and life would not have been experienced. Desire is the breath of life. Death is the absence of desire. Without desire the self that is you would possess no knowledge other than that of your own existence, because you would not have gone in search of it. But you are here now and you have discovered a great amount of knowledge, both of good and evil, both of which are necessary to gain wisdom. Your focus of attention is here now, you are engaged in interaction with the material realm and other sentient beings. You feel trapped in a world that seems alien to you, and you want to be free. So you find yourself searching for the truth that will set you free, but it seems so elusive. You just want to be happy and feel love, but it seems that around every corner and in the shadows, there is someone or something just waiting to cause you hurt, to take advantage of you, and deprive you of anything good that you feel. Fear is ever present, and so you pray for peace. It was this way for me, until I said, no more choices. I had realized that of all the powers that we possess, the greatest is the power to choose what we do. It is a power that can never be taken from us. The ability to choose is a power that is only possessed by sentient, living, conscious, aware beings. There is nothing that is of the material universe that possesses the power to choose its actions, or reactions, and it is because we do that we know we are not of this world. We have a choice of how we react to what affects us, and we have a choice of what effect we will or will not cause. Therefore, we are not bound by the laws of the material universe. There is no chaos in the material universe, it works like a perfect machine, where every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Only sentient beings can interfere with the natural chain of events, changing what would have been. It is in the spiritual realm that the law of action-reaction breaks down and chaos is created. This is because sentient, spiritual beings have a choice in how to react, and in what effect they will cause. For instance, you can do to others what they do to you, or you can choose not to react in the same way. You can choose the pleasure of revenge, or the peace of forgiveness. Revenge creates chaos, forgiveness ends it. The journey. Every life journey has a beginning and an end, and at this moment you are somewhere between those 2 points. We know how long we have been on our present journey, but we cannot know when the end of our journey will come, or what, if anything, will come after it, and does it really matter anyway? For me, in my pre-enlightened state, it didn't matter, but I would have preferred an end to my existence and awareness. There really are only 2 possible outcomes: either life goes on, in which case I am immortal, or awareness ends completely and I would not even know of my non-existence. But what then? Had my life been meaningless, some cruel joke of fate? Was there any reason at all to continue living? For me there was, and it was not for my benefit but for the benefit of others. The love and truth that I had in me had shown me a better world, one that I could contribute to. I didn't know how long I had left, but I would love unconditionally, knowing that it was good and right. My desire for self-pleasure had ended, and I had put myself last. Then came the light, as the past, present, and future collided in one glorious revelation. I am and will always be, the way, the truth, and the life. We are gods that had fallen asleep and become lost in another reality. It is love and truth that finds and awakens us, to bring us home once more. The end is the same as the beginning, and the path we must all walk is that of righteous desire. The dark night of the soul. I would not care about you, if I didn't feel your pain. I would have no need for company, but I can't bear loneliness again. I would not need to find myself, if the world had been enough. And I would have known life's meaning, but no one fulfilled my love. I will not live for the moment and take all that I can. For my treasure would be stolen, by those who scheme and plan. In my sacrifice and suffering, was a better life for some. And I have left a better world for the children that will come. As I gaze out from this lonely place to the journey from my birth, I see the love the first left behind was the only thing of worth. Desire was never silenced by gaining material things. And I never found the happiness that love's fulfillment brings. I was never a part of the world we see, I am just a passerby. Yet being who I am, my friend, I will come when I hear you cry. I don't know who I am anymore or why I even exist. Is there any purpose to my life? Is there something I have missed? All that I've learned seems worthless, what's left for me to find? I see no promised pearl of truth, just a cold, dark, empty mind. Will life continue after death? Is there more pain to bear? Or will I close my eyes one day and awareness be not there? If God exists, I see no proof, for God was never in sight. And now my heart is broken as my soul walks through the night. I have nothing left to cling to and desire has gone to sleep. The reality of self is all I have, it's all that I can keep. Now as the darkness deepens and nothing I become, I put down all I've carried and stand alone as one. Love is all that I have left, the only part not broken. I will give it all without condition, denying nothing it has spoken. Standing alone in this empty place and in my darkest night, I find the proof that God exists, as I step into the light.